This is First Bull Run. 4 recon, 2 logistics. We have Colonel Walton ready to be put in. Now I built this army to make use of all of the weapons and equipment that I had for free and to spend as little money as possible. Yeah, after First Bull Run we will have a James. A unit of James. So Wagner, Scales, Woods, Loomis, the starting officers. So yeah, very happy for these guys to have 55s. They just fire a lot, grind skills. That's what this battle is about, grinding skills. Of course, getting through it on Major General. Reboards, 42s, reboards, like they're all fine. 10-inch, I did buy one 10-inch. Yeah. Free 61s for the sniper. Almost 6,000 men, $71,000. $42, $37, $13. So the armory is terrible. We're going to get about 200,000 after this, plus supply wagons. So we'll have over 300,000 after this. Okay, 23-4 versus 26. Start. Okay, nothing happens in the first phase. So I have this on 4 times in editing, 4 times speed. I'm playing this on normal speed, but I've sped this up in editing. I have no interest in putting this army at that crossing point. I want to get all of these units up together and get ready for Jackson's counterattack. Okay, my army comes in. Unfortunately, I did not get any splits on any of the cav. That would have been very handy. And as soon as I can get all of my cav in and together, yeah, then we'll start doing some interesting things. So right now we're just getting the army up. And yeah, I'm not going in piecemeal. Okay, I want to put the no-star units on the front line and the 1-star units behind. Okay, still waiting for the infantry to come up, but we're going to move the cav. So you might be wondering what my infantry is waiting for. There are more units to come up, and I'm in no hurry. Okay, I really don't want to tangle with that skirmisher. He's probably headed to the right flank. I think we'll see him later. Okay, I'm going to give that supply wagon to my left flank. I wouldn't mind getting the AI's attention, causing a little confusion. Okay, we got 3 kills. And it's amazing how little damage these units do before they get perks. Okay, not a surprise. We all know he has a cav unit. And if you don't get his attention on the other flank, you'll get his attention here. 500. Okay. He's larger than any of my units, so we have to gang up on him. I really don't want this unit going back and forth. But if we can grind on this guy for a little bit, that would be fine. I'm still waiting for more units to come up. It's 9 o'clock. We have nothing else better to do. I'm going to eventually figure out I can put this guy on hold. I don't want to dismount him because we're going to have to be able to get out of there fast. So normally you would do double damage. I guess it works that way in the J&P mod if you dismount, but we're going to have to be able to move. And when you have to move, then stay mounted. Okay, almost. The army's almost up. Not quite. Yep. Okay, I'd like for these guys to come up and get some shots. Because see, he's locked onto my rifle cav. Yeah, we got some shots. Come on, fire, fire, fire. Okay, he fired. God, that's terrible. 14 kills. Okay, my carbine has 30. This is going to take forever. His cav is twice the speed of my cav. He must have a speed perk. And I have no perks. Okay, Sherman is finally here. Yeah, we're going to get into melee. So I'm losing that badly, as I knew I would, because he's melee cav and I'm rifle cav. But even though we just took 40 deaths, we can now get him back. This is a tiny bit cheesy, but I don't care. One, it's on Major General, and two, enemy cav is just like ridiculous. So I don't care if we have to fire 500 times to kill this guy. I have nothing better to do. And the army is almost up. You're probably a little surprised that I'm waiting this long to get the army moving. Okay, he comes out of it. He's down to 364. $300. Now he's going to be able to escape. I can't hold him. All we can do is get some shots on him. That's a mistake. See, I'm routing him through the woods. Then I fix that in a moment. Yeah, I can't catch this guy. He's way too fast. Yeah, look, he's just too fast. Maybe I can get some more shots on him with my carbine. Like, he'll recover almost instantly. And that's good, and I might get some shots on him. Yeah, I reroute these guys. They'll take forever. So I want to come over and harass these guys, maybe get them to run. Like, if you can get them to run after you, they kind of get dislodged from their position. But they're not having it. Sometimes they'll just, like, the whole group of them will charge. But no. And the army is almost up. So I issue orders. Keys will get here in plenty of time. These guys can start to move up. Sherman will get there about the time I need him. Oops, took some shots from his artillery. So we're going to go back, charge up ammo and morale. Just park for a little bit. I detach skirmishers. You have to detach skirmishers away from the enemy. You can't be too close to them, so I detach skirmishers early because I want them in front to begin with and then to fall back to the rear. So in the front, they give you visibility and take fire from artillery and infantry and take very little casualties, especially if they're in the woods, while your infantry then has a chance to walk up, and then they fall back to the rear in case your infantry gets charged. They can put fire into the melee, and it might be just enough to break the enemy. Here I make a mistake. My perhaps most important gun, the 3-inch, I didn't give orders to. That's irritating. But it's too late. I mean, the attack is going forward. We're going to get spotted, probably charged. So that was a huge mistake. But I'm going to have to just live with it. So the idea is these guys take up the main army takes the initial attack of the enemy, and he will attack. I think every time I've played this, I get a capture on, he has a 3-inch or a 3-star unit that always charges into melee, and I always capture him. Brigadier General, Legendary. As long as he charges, I'm going to capture him. So I want that to happen. I want him to focus on the main army, and then the Army of Northern Virginia Allied units, they come up after this battle kicks off. Yeah, the 3-inch not being there is a disaster. But I'm not going to re-roll it. Going to just live with it. But that's huge. So if he waits to charge until I get the 3-inch gun up, that would be very, very thoughtful. Yeah, all my artillery is in place except like the one I need for this melee. Because his 3-inch infantry can just punch right through this whole line. I mean, if you don't do it correctly, he can route like 4 of your infantry, punch through. He could punch through to my Napoleon if he wanted to. So I'm trying to egg him on. Of course, on Brigadier General, if you saw that, he was just very passive. But I'm counting on him being aggressive here. This is going to be a disaster if he just sits back. Okay, these guys can now move up. These guys can move up. Yes, and the 3-inch is almost there. Yeah, as a couple of you mentioned in the comments, in the Brigadier General series, you have to have the artillery close enough to support, but far enough back that you don't get, that he doesn't overrun your infantry. Okay, you also notice that I'm stacking up. There's a reason why I had the 1-star units behind the no-star units. If he does break through the no-star units, he's going to have to do it getting hit 2-on-1, getting hit with supporting fire, getting hit with tons of canister, and I also have 2 melee cav units here just for that purpose. And once he gets through the front line, I can even get on top of him with fresh units in the second row. So the thing about my fighting style is there will always be infantry in the second row, and probably behind that, detached skirmishers. Like I'm having the detached skirmishers fall back, so he's going to get into melee. Here he comes. Here he comes. Fall back, fall back, fall back. This is my style. Fall back. He's taking flanking shots from the skirmisher unit, which is a sniper, kind of 61s. If we get into melee, the commander is just slightly out of place, but I've given him orders to move. Here we go. Now the detached skirmishers are going to fire supporting fire, and I'm going to hit him 2-on-1 unit charging is all I need, and then the rifle cav, the melee cav also charging. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Lovely. The commander's there. The canister fire is there. The supporting fire is there. The flanking fire is there. He's getting his head taken off, and he surrenders. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Okay, now we fall back. We take a look at our units. I have one unit that his morale fell a little bit, So yeah, he's at 78. He needs to rest. He's fine. He's fine. The commander's right there. These guys will recover. He's at 95. He's fine. That went perfectly. So we got one unit out of the way. Now it looks like he only has 2 more infantry. I would love for him to attack again. Just please attack again. Not a complete surprise, but I am kind of surprised here at the moment that I get caught. But I was kind of hoping this guy would come back, get on top of him, 3-on-1. So the Cav so far is having a great day. If we can kill this Cav unit, that would be a huge, huge deal. Okay, now the trick here is to not trigger the flags. As usual, that's the trick. Getting flank shots on his infantry, perfect. I really wanted my detached skirmishers to take the shots from the artillery and then the infantry to walk up. Look, the Allied army is in place, perfect. It's almost like I timed this, you know, like I timed it perfectly. This is just, sometimes a plan just comes together. And when it does, it's a thing of beauty. Uh-oh, supply wagon. We want that. If we fire at the general, he should run away, which would be nice. Okay, it's ours. I'm going to send him over there. That's the closest point. I really don't want to trigger a flag, so I'm thinking right now. See, I think they're right where my, right in the middle of that clump of trees. I think there's a trigger point, and hopefully my cav in there isn't enough to trigger it. So I think another thing that happens is if you get a mass of troops around the victory location itself. Oh yeah, look at all that fire. We're firing at his artillery. I'll take that all day. Hitting his infantry. Not running, just everybody walk and just fire, fire, fire. I want to drive his commander away so that his infantry and artillery does not get any morale buff from the commander. The one really good thing about the 6-pounders is they fire very fast. They're very light, so they move fast. And the ammo is very inexpensive. So yeah, they don't do a lot of damage, but they're very good at chipping away at morale. And right now I want to chip away at morale. Yeah, these units with no unit perks are just, they just don't do any damage. Okay, now I want to be very careful. I think there's another trigger in the clump of trees to the right. So I don't want to actually get on top of the clump of trees. I want to fight these guys. But I think there is actually, when you get a certain mass around the victory location, even if you don't take it. So I want to hit this infantry unit and his artillery. Obviously, I want to kill it. But I'm really in no hurry. I have another hour and 16 minutes. I'm in absolutely no hurry. I'm in an ideal position. The army's all together. Just get everybody to fire. Nobody's running. We're not hemorrhaging condition. Yeah, I'd really like to push my infantry that's on the other side of my cav forward and hit that infantry unit, but I'm afraid to trip a flag. So I'm having them hang back intentionally to put off the arrival of Jackson as long as possible, which is too bad. And good, he's moving into the open. Although if he moved the other way, he would take supporting infantry fire. But I should be able to get 2 units on top of him. And he surrenders. So I put in fire to degrade him. And then hit him with the infantry. After I degraded him, because you just want to keep chipping away at the morale of the unit. Okay, now the next task is kill the artillery. Kill the artillery. Ah, see? Okay, so now he's going to retreat. I still don't want to trip those 2 triggers that I think are in those 2 clumps of woods. So I would very much like to not trip this flag. Well, this flag is gone. So I guess I just had a mass of numbers when you outnumber the enemy by so much. So I just want to get this captured unit out of here. And I can see that his general is far away, and I want to make sure that his general stays far away. I would really like to kill his general. Okay, for some reason his infantry unit is out of the woods, or out of the fortification. That's nice. Yeah, the 6-pounders need to get a bit closer. Yeah, see, I'm backing Sherman up because I'm a little afraid of that I'm going to hit one of the triggers. It is such a shame that we have to fiddle with stuff like this. Okay, I can see that his artillery is ready to surrender. All I have to do is hit him. And his isolated, even though it's a 3-star unit, I can hit him from all sides and then get into melee with him and capture him too. Ah, okay, his artillery had surrendered earlier, now it shatters. His 3-star infantry is just now being beaten to death. Where's my other... Oh, yeah, my other cav unit. I sent him over. Now I wish he was back in the fight. Yeah, too late. So I'm taking friendly fire, but it might be worth it. Come on, stay on top of him. Stay on top of him. We're getting lots of kills, but I need the capture. Okay, I have to tell my infantry to stop, or we're going to trip the flag. Come on. I want the capture, obviously. And Jackson. Too late. So I think about getting out of there, but I think I just one more minute if I... And there's a break in contact. So just one more minute. Okay, here comes an infantry unit. Come on, he's in the water. How tough is this? But there's no artillery fire. I need artillery fire. So I'm really taking a big risk here. His infantry's coming up. I know I'm taking a risk. We're really pounding this guy. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And I need to get out of there. Okay, time to go. We're going to take a shot, as it is. Okay, he's down to 670. It would have been nice if we had gotten him. Okay, now I need to get everybody into position. I would have liked a little bit more time, but I should be able to get everybody into position before Jackson comes across the river. Now, in my Brigadier General campaign, he didn't come across the river at all. I'm really counting on him coming across the river. I don't want to have to cross the river and go after him. That's going to be horrible. I want him to come across the river and charge. Because I know I'm going to crush him if he does that. And then that makes going across the river so much easier. So my army's in good shape. Pretty good condition. Obviously, I want 2 lines of infantry for these big melee fights. My commander's where he needs to be. The scouts, or the cav, needs to rest. They're going to be called on soon. They need to, resupply. The commander's right there. 2 lines of infantry ready to receive the charge. And he has 325 skirmishers. I really, really think that it would be a fine balance to the game, and there'd be nothing wrong with it in your playthrough, to go into the files, the config files, and limit his skirmishers to 125. Just, they're too strong. They're too powerful. It's ridiculous. Okay, this is looking good. That's his unit of now 596. That's the unit we already beat up on. Getting 1,000,000 shots on him. Good. Okay. We have a contender here for going to hit you in the head with a hammer award. 942. 4th Virginia, heroic. Come on into melee. The infantry's in the right place, the commander's in the right place, tons of artillery. Yeah, Keyes is going to exchange shots with these skirmishers, and he's going to lose. Like, I already know that. Okay, so I guess he's thinking better of all this charging. And while I'd like to charge him, he has too many units there. So he would fire into the melee. I don't want that to happen. So we're going to shift fire to the new unit coming in, degrade him, degrade all these units as they come in, one after another. Yeah, this is all very good. Okay, I want to kill that skirmisher, obviously. So I leave one melee cav behind as part of the counterattack that is destined to happen in the center, but I'm going to send the other two over to kill that skirmisher. Okay, everybody fire at the guy who's charging in and is fresh. We don't really want to fire at the guy who's flashing white because he's going to be very ineffective. So we want him to just stand there and take volleys from my infantry, if possible. What we want to do is degrade the guy who is charging in, who is, you know, charging and feeling pretty good about life. We want to degrade him. Yeah, Keys, it looks like, I don't know if Keys had losses coming in previously, but I think he's losing this exchange. Okay, this is a good melee target. This is a good capture target. 920 in size. All of the canister in the world is going to hit this guy. All we've got to do is get 2-on-1. There we go. Go, 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 go. Down to 700. Come on. Just a little longer. This guy should be done. Yes, got him. See, that was a perfect opportunity. You draw him in by falling back. You hit him with a ton of canister. You charge him, right? Because if he routes, he'll escape faster than you can get on top of him, especially before you get the speed perk. The second perk is the speed perk for me, so I can get on top of people. And I don't need necessarily the melee perk because I'm not going to hit charge that much. One unit hits charge, everybody else is just running to get on top of him to get 2-on-1. Oh, these guys are now going to get so busted. Look, I have easily 2-on-1 on both of these guys. He has no support. There are no infantry units firing support into this. I can get 2-on-1 melee, all the canister in the world. We might be able to capture 2 more units right now. This is what I'm talking about. I want Jackson to charge so I can do this to him. Okay, there's a charge. The 4th Virginia wants to stand in water in 0 cover. Perfect opportunity for my sniper just to pick on him. Come on, come on. My commander's there. The canister is there. And no matter what we do, let's kill that skirmisher. Kill the skirmisher. Yeah, Keys isn't going to make it. It's too slow. See, look how fast. Got one of them. Couldn't get the other one. He retreats so fast. But we got on top of one of them and got the capture. Okay, now comes the hardest part, is taking a deep breath and having everybody fall back. Because what you want to do, your inclination is, we got them on the ropes, let's push. Nope. Fall back. Fall back. Recover condition. This is the Union Army. Recover condition. Recover ammo. Actually, I should turn my ammo wagon off and just use allied. Yes, we captured his skirmisher. Okay. And to my surprise, look over here. B is still holding the fort. Okay, we need to just get out of there. We do not want to fight B. Okay, it is also 11:30. I need to get units moving. Like, his force has been just shot to pieces and beaten up and completely ineffective. A tiny force can hold this line, but I need to start getting everybody moving. And when I get around both the right and left flank, it is quite a long walk. This is the Union Army. They'll have to rest 10 times, you know, because they'll get tired. It's just the way it is. Very, very happy to shoot at you while you're standing in the water. You go ahead and stand there. That's perfect. I can also move the artillery forward now because there's no possibility of him busting through my lines. Four medium-sized infantry. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry. I don't need 8 infantry right there. I have an opportunity to do a lot of damage to his artillery. Stuart seems to want to keep doing this, which is fine. So this is all working out well. Look at my infantry fire into his infantry. That is perfect. Oh, he's just being shot to pieces. Yeah, I'm pushing the artillery forward. The artillery can get up. Happy to see him charge. That's great. Hunton, Lieutenant Hunton, Lieutenant Colonel Hunton is wounded. I think he's one of mine. Yep, he's one of mine. Okay, there are 3 capture or shatter opportunities. 2 of his units are pretty small. The odds are they're going to shatter. His 2 units that are flashing white are just, you know, targets to grind on, XP grind opportunities. They're not going to do much damage. They're sitting in the water. They're going to take extra casualties. Yeah, this guy on the left didn't last very long. I was hoping for him to get up to my line and get into melee before I counterattacked, obviously, and then I would capture him or shatter him. Fallback keys. No, keys, for some reason, did not want to fall back. You get this weird thing where units go in weird directions. I'm going to try to capture the 500. Make sure my artillery is still... Because sometimes, if enemy units rout, your artillery will shift fire to something else. I don't want them to do that. And he shatters. Okay, that guy shattered. Would have enjoyed the capture. Like, by attacking, his position is much worse than if he had just stayed in the woods. So that's one thing I really like about Major General, is the way the AI comes forward and gets himself killed charging. Now we got him. He's, not surprisingly, gave up. Come on, get the last one, get the last one. Yep. Okay, so they both shattered. That is unfortunate. There were 3 units. We had a chance to capture all 3 of them. Unfortunately, didn't work out. Hey, if Stuart wants to come forward and get pounded, bonus. I don't think he will. I think he'll run away. But hey, if I can get 2-on-1... big opportunity to do some damage to Stuart. Okay, and you can also see in the background I've given orders to all my artillery and infantry to get moving. We've got to get moving. It's 11:50. And at this point I look at the clock and go, oh man, okay, I need to be more than a little concerned about the time. 11:50 is not when I wanted to get started. Now there are some units that are off to the left on screen that you can't see that are already like moving, getting where I need them. My move around the right flank of the enemy is obviously not started at all. B is in the way, so we're going to have to take time to get B out of the way. I'm having one unit fall back, so the next unit fires into him, and then I'll have both units, once they fire, move forward. Leapfrog each other. Eventually he'll flash white. Hopefully I can get my cav on his flank. Okay, yeah, these guys need to get moving. I did actually have time to send some artillery to the left side of the map. Okay, my cav is in the right place. Okay, he's routing. I just wish I had more artillery support for this. This is pretty much the last hurrah for my cav. They've taken a lot of losses. The melee cav, they've pretty much done all that they can really do. Do as much damage to B as they can. Stay 2-on-1 if at all possible. But yeah. This is pretty much it. This is pretty much their last hurrah. Get B, get B, get B. They're doing really nice damage. My infantry couldn't keep up. Of course not. I know we're going to take some canister, but do as much damage as we can to B. This is a real opportunity. We're not going to kill him. Too bad. But we got the shatter. To my surprise, I thought it was done. I forgot that I got the shatter. So it was a good unit. He was, I think, 2 stars. 1600 when he came in, and now he's gone. Again, the capture would have been better. Yeah, I tried to get my commander up to, support. You always want the commander up when you're in melee to keep morale up. Ooh, this is a real unpleasant surprise. I think, whoop, there goes, that melee cav is dead. I'll just get a shot on Stuart. But nope, Stuart is stuck. Okay, get the Napoleons up and start hitting his artillery. We're moving, but it's 12 o'clock. I am behind schedule. Yeah, Wilcox is a 2nd Brigade, so he's a split. Doesn't really matter that he is going to take some losses here. Every cannon he takes out is a huge plus. I didn't think about it this way, but now that I'm watching the video, this is how I'm thinking about it. He's a split. He's doing good work on that artillery. That battery's down to 4 guns. Be nice if we get him down to 3 or 2. Okay. And we're just going to park here quietly and rack up kills on Stuart. Yeah, I'm feeling the pressure right now. I'm a little behind schedule. But the good news is there's not much to kill. Like, we're in better shape than I think. I think I'm going to face a full army to the south, and that's not the case. He's actually moved a lot of his units up. Okay, that artillery unit's down to 3 guns. Yeah, on Brigadier General, I had 5 guns of 10-pound Parrots, which was really handy in this situation, but on Major General, I decided not to spend the money. So the only thing I have is the 3-inch. The 3-inch guns can do a job, kinda, but they're really not, you know, the best long-range guns. The 4 guns that have 6-pounders right now are going to... The first good weapon that I'll be able to put in them is the is the James. And I'll have 4 of them after this battle. And my 6-pounders are going to get a perk. So the James will start with in a unit that has a perk. So I know some people were looking at that. Why do you have 4 guns in a unit, taking up a unit slot? Pretty useless. What are you doing? But nope. It was all for that moment. And why do I want the James in a unit that has a unit perk? It's because in the Battle of River Crossing, I need something that can reach out and touch the enemy at some range. And the only weapon that's going to be able to do that well is going to be the James, and if it has a unit perk, you get extra distance and extra long-range damage. Yes, it's only 4 guns, but it's the best I have. And the 3-inch gun will also assist. Okay, I'm going to let the Napoleon and the 3-inch just hit this guy for a while. Yeah, I should have absolutely turned my supply wagon off and used the Allied supply wagon. Okay, we've got to get moving. I would like to have rested these guys for 20 minutes, but we've got to get moving. Splitting off detached skirmishers to advance first into what I think is going to be a bunch of artillery and skirmisher units. Okay, there are 4 phases to this battle. This is the beginning of phase 3. And the only thing I need, trying to squeeze out a few more kills on his artillery, could use a detached skirmisher to see how much damage I've done, but he's dead now, so I don't have to worry about it. Everybody get out of there. Okay, this is phase 3, and what I'm concerned about is how much condition and morale my units have. My commander needs to get there to buff morale as much as possible. So, detach skirmishers forward, sighting the enemy, absorbing any artillery shots, and then put shots on his... I expect to see 2 skirmishers and 3 artillery, I think. But that is not the case. There's 2 artillery here. One of his artillery is moved into the woods, and the other one was forward, and he's dead. So he has a skirmisher here, who should, in all fairness, be about 100. Maybe 150. 125. Okay, I'm really surprised by what isn't here. So... I'm going to send... I thought I was done with my cav, but nope. I have one more task for them. My sniper unit is having a very good day for a no-star sniper. Yeah, in vanilla I could run, but this is the J&P mod. Try to avoid running. Well, at least until your units grind some condition, which my units don't have much. Okay, 2 of his artillery are routing. Okay, melee cav. And we have a capture already. That was very nice. Okay, I'm sending an infantry unit back around the other way. Howard and Wilcox are doing nothing. I don't need all these units here. What I want to do now is avoid taking the flag, but make sure I kill all of his units. And do not capture the flag. I don't want to capture it early. We have an hour and 55 minutes, so this can be a grind fest. That's perfectly fine. My units can just take lots of shots, save condition, buff their morale. I want as much time as possible. But I also want my army to be in fighting condition. And my 3 units that are on the left have really low condition. I'm concerned about them. So I need at some point to make sure that they get some rest. The Union Army. Walk for 10 minutes, rest. Walk for 10 minutes, rest. Okay, both of his artillery are routing. That's good. He's down to 4 guns and... no, 8 guns and soon 4. Yep, 4 guns. Don't capture the flag. Okay, no surprise. Look, that's that. I think I remember that unit, 27th Virginia. Would have liked to have killed him earlier. Okay, we're going to exchange shots with this skirmisher unit. And we're going to lose, because that's how the game works. Okay, he also has 2 commanders that I can just pick on. I think that's 1,000 kills, if I can kill them both. That is a bunch of, well, it'll be a bunch of crappy carbines, but, you know, it's free kills that aren't on the after action, well, it's not on the pre-battle recon. Like, these guys don't show up, I don't think, as part of the army. They're not counted in the army. I don't think they are. Maybe they are, but it's 500 kills. That's a lot of XP for someone to harvest. So the detached skirmishers are doing a good job. I could really be firing into this skirmisher with detached skirmishers. Again, I mean, you're just going to lose. You're going to lose the exchange. And unfortunately, both those units are mine. They're not allied units, which is too bad. Yeah, Raleigh is really losing the exchange. And that's the guy who's being hit. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm watching Raleigh go down in the video. "8,000 shots. Because every volley you fire kills 2 or 3. Okay, to my surprise, the unit in the fortification routed. Now we have to be very careful not to take the flag. So I'm having people get away from the flag. Don't want to take it. Yeah, his skirmisher seems bugged. Be nice if he would just stand there and die. That would be nice. So I issued everybody orders. An hour and 17 minutes. I think you have to take the flag 20 minutes, because there's a countdown of 20 minutes. So you have to take the flag with 21 minutes remaining. And I now know that's not going to be difficult. I can take my time, just chip away at this guy, grind XP, keep losses down, and we're going to kill him. Yeah, you can even see Wilcox, it says tired. I should just have him stop. So yeah, we'll just chip away at him for a while. Yeah, I'm going to get my carbine in there. He's safe to do this. Get him dismounted, getting double the kills. I expect one of his generals to shoot out of here. And if, you know, his infantry retreats north, that's someone to just beat up on with melee cav, even though both units are now pretty small. They could do that. Yeah, Howard's back up to 79. He's in good shape. 79 condition. Want these guys pretty much in pretty good shape. The 72, he's in good shape. He has to cross back over the river anyway. So yeah, this is slow, but yeah, best way to do it. Just chip away at them, hit them with lots of artillery. One of his generals is dead. Yep, and we got another capture. Okay, need to go after Jackson, hopefully kill him. Don't want him to take, even if he does take the supplies, we're going to take it right back. Would like to kill this unit of 500, but I've left too big a hole. I've done this before. If you have a big hole right here like I just did, like, I don't know why I did that. I know from doing this before, you don't want to have a huge hole right there. He's going to get away. So that's unfortunate. Fortunately, he's been shot down to ineffective numbers. And it's about time to take the flag anyway. My cav can rack up some free kills. Let's go kill that commander. No, we're not going to be able to get on top of him. But we have done him a lot of damage. So he's down to 380. I was thinking if I'd had 2 units, maybe a cav, we would have shattered him probably. Okay, we're at 38 minutes. I have 18 minutes to take the flag. Might as well take it now. Get the army in place. Then we have a period of time for the army to rest and resupply. So it's where do you want your units? I'm going to have the artillery initially stay back a little bit. And do I finally turn off my supply wagon? Yes, I think I finally turn off my supply wagon pretty soon. There is no reason for me to bleed any more cash out of my supply wagon. All of my artillery is here together. Come on, kill Jackson. Get him, get him, get him. And Jackson's dead. $35. We have 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, it's a 25-minute countdown. Okay, so 9 minutes to spare. Second New York, you just stand there and harvest kills. I want to get the rest of my army back into position. Okay, that phase went well. Would have liked a few more captures, but okay, it went well. Oh no, I still have my ammo wagon. I still haven't turned off my ammo wagon. Okay, my thought now is, Cav, just rest for a while. You've done a great job. Just rest. Okay, I'm going to... There's a farmhouse. I want my unit in the farmhouse, a unit that has some range. For the initial attack, I'd like for the AI to receive the initial attack, the initial melee attacks. And my units in position to support the melee, and then after the enemy is weakened, then my units will move forward in good cover and get kills. Because not only do we want to keep my units, out of melee, if at all possible, but we do want my units to get a ton of XP from this exercise. Okay, he's down to 270. That's working out really well. Okay, Sherman, always like him there. Franklin behind him. The Allied units in the worst cover. Have I finally turned my ammo wagon off? So all we need to do is have the Allied wagon go back and forth and keep my wagon turned off for the rest of the battle. So you see what I'm doing. Lots of artillery to give exploding shell and some detached skirmishers, but rows of infantry to do two things. One is to swap out with units that get tired or get low in morale or condition, and the other, which you have to do in the J&P mod. And the other thing is, layers. When the enemy comes in and gets into melee, you want rows of infantry in support. This is the Union. Artillery, infantry, all working together. Cav, ready to assist. Okay, 2nd New York, you did a great job. In fact, you got a bunch of kills. Yeah, but look at his condition. Okay, Johnson, here he comes. Yeah, keep the supply wagon moving. Where's the general? Yeah, I hit pause and think, where's the artillery? Where's the general? Where's the ammo wagon? Everybody else hits pause and thinks, where's my infantry? I don't. I hit pause. Where's my commander? Where's the ammo wagon? Where's my artillery? And all during the battle, I'm thinking, where's my artillery? Where's my artillery? Not, where's the infantry? I know where the infantry is. Where's the artillery? Okay, I'm going to let the artillery fire at max range to start to degrade the enemy's morale, even if just by a little bit. So I sent the detached skirmisher. I want him to come like right in the middle of this. I don't want him to drift off too far to the left of the map and attack on the other side of that farm. I want him to attack right between these two clumps of woods, right at Sherman. I know he's going to go for the flag, but if he does, he's going to run into a bunch of infantry in the woods and that farmhouse, and he's going to be in trouble. And look at the artillery. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Make sure everybody's firing at the right guy. I'm going to keep these two over here. Okay, fall back, fall back, fall back. Howard, fall up, move forward. Farmhouse, get in there. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Everybody fire. He's confused. He's going to pause. He's going to get hit in the head with a hammer. So this is going remarkably well. Need the general now to get between the two groups because we have a melee on the other side. Okay, Keys, fall back. We'll push everybody forward. Keys is a little, or his unit that's attacking Keys is a little isolated. Okay, his unit is routing. Great. Now shift fire to somebody who's coming in fresh. Smith is coming in. On my left, make sure that we support the melee with Keys. By the victory location, make sure we're hitting the guys that are coming in fresh. Shift fire. Everybody shift fire. Okay, Smith is coming in. So what's probably happening is the artillery that I had target the first guy who came in are probably still targeting him. So I have to issue orders to each unit to shift fire to Smith. Okay, he didn't have a chance. Keys can probably fall back and rest. Commander's right there. It's all good. Having the 1st Ohio come up and put in flanking fire. Perfect. It's like on Brigadier General, you don't have to play with this level of detail, but on Major General, you really do. Because you can lose every single melee if you go one-on-one with this Confederate infantry. You will lose, you can lose every single melee. Or at best, your unit and his unit routes, but his unit recovers in 2 seconds and yours recovers in 20 minutes. So big difference. Yep, there's an example of I gave orders and my unit is still targeting the guy who ran away, so you want to make sure that doesn't happen because he'll stand there and just take massive losses if you do that. So, and his morale will fall because he'll stand there and he'll just be taking losses without any kills, and his morale will just plummet. Okay, that's actually a really good angle. I'd like for him to get all the way to the farm. That would be terrific. I don't think he's going to make it. No, he's already slowing down. Yep, there he goes. He's had enough. Yeah, I should shift fire, because I don't want him to retreat. He's just hemorrhaging men right there for no purpose. I should shift fire, shift fire, shift fire. Here's a fresh unit coming in, shift fire. Yeah, that's canister range. We'll keep hitting him. But I really don't want him to retreat. I want him to just stand there. This 187 is going to die. Yeah, I have a bunch of units with 55s. They can just like fire really fast at this 181. Get all kinds of XP. That unit's not going to do any damage to me. Right now I'm thinking, I need to get the 1st Ohio out of there. I have a unit with 42s that's like behind the 1st Ohio that's not getting any XP. And now I'm thinking about XP harvesting more than I'm thinking about winning this. You can see he's beaten. Like, this is... He can't win. 1,200, 1,600. He does have one unit of 2,300, but the exchanges are all in my favor. Yeah, I should be moving some of the 6-pounders forward now. I'm going to have Howard take the flag, and then as soon as I take the flag back, I'm going to move Loomis up so he can start harvesting kills. I mean, it's time to get all my guys on the front line. It's harvest kills time. Or, at the very least, you're just going to fire a lot and grind XP. Sherman has done a terrific job tanking fire. My commander's right there keeping him in the line. Yeah, Loomis is up. Put a volley into that guy. Yeah, make sure everybody's firing. Okay, I'm having Milroy fall back. The 1st Ohio want him to take the hits. I want Milroy just to get free kills. Okay, he's coming in with 2, 3, 4 units against the clump of woods. Could be interesting. Yeah, I can start. If he's going to shift to the right, then I can get my sniper into this on the enemy flank. Yeah, he's not going to last. He's going to fall back. I have way too many units. Everyone's trying to get in a position to shoot. Okay, Sherman, good job. Let's swap you out. This is almost over, so you don't have to stand there and like bleed to death. Get Franklin to come up a little bit, take a few hits. Let Sherman rest. Okay, perfect. First Ohio, gonna take the shots. Milroy, going to shoot and get free kills. So that's good. Loomis is getting pretty much free shots. He's in great cover. Morgan is getting shots. My 42s are still in the back. As soon as he can safely come forward and get kills without getting shot in the face by a unit of 2,000, but until then I'm going to let the Allied unit take the hits. Yep, get the Allied units behind now. My units come forward, get kills. That's all it took. Just my Cav getting on his flank. We'll just harvest kills. Morgan is wounded or killed? I think he was killed. So I lost 2 officers in this battle. Yeah, my Cav has 500 kills. Very good for a no-star carbine unit. Yep, see, notice that Raleigh was targeting someone a mile away he couldn't hit. Yeah, you have to be very careful of that on Major General. Oh, that's perfect. That's what you need. Like 4 infantry and 8 artillery firing at 1 Confederate unit in the open, and you win. That's what you have to have. You cannot just fight them one-on-one. You have to gang up on them. Okay, I'm finally bringing my unit of 42s forward to get some XP. Yeah, these artillery really need to come forward. Those are all 6-pounders. Yeah, and right now I'm completely not the slightest bit worried about him coming in from Italy. Just like in the beginning of the battle, very concerned about his large, fresh, aggressive units coming in, slamming into my line. Right now, don't care. Yeah, it's just a capture opportunity. You're going to lose. Look how slow he's moving. You're going to lose. You're going to get flanked. You're just going to get just absolutely crushed. Yeah, I gave an order to Milroy to charge, but he didn't. Okay, I'm having Franklin move back, move Keyes to the front. Yeah, I want the carbine to get kills, but I don't want him to take any more hits, if possible. He's taken enough. Just free kills. That's what I want. And this looks like a chance to get free kills. So if he were to charge with everybody, I'd be okay with falling back. And I think he does charge. But if I can get shots on Johnston, that's cool. Yep, here he comes. Okay. So Morgan, fall back. Morgan, get out of there. Now, if Smith would be so kind as to get into melee with my unit, charge all the way to my line, that would be perfect. But I don't think he has the... I don't think he can do it. Don't think he's going to make it. Yeah, I don't even have my 42s shift fire. It's like, no, he's not going to make it. My 42s don't even have to shift fire. Just keep harvesting kills where you are. Like, I didn't even, like, I looked at it and went, no, just 42s, just keep firing into the guy who's flashing white. Yeah, we can start moving everybody forward. Okay, I have this on 4 times speed because obviously we're going to just move forward and harvest kills. A couple of minutes of this. There are actually 2 units off to the right hiding that I don't know about. So now the other thing I don't know is how long this battle lasts. I want these units to like fight as long as possible because every minute they're on the map they get experience. Maybe I could have them run in circles. I don't know. Well, Union Army can't run in circles. They can walk slowly in circles. But the point is that I want to make use of all the time. I'm in no hurry. I don't want the time to run out. But I don't want to end the battle early. But I'm too lazy to actually figure out when the battle ends, which would require me to like save and then put the game on fast forward and see how much time I actually have. And then kill the last unit at the last minute. I don't do that. Yep, and the commander's dead. That means these guys are doomed. Okay, I send the carbine back to resupply. I expect he's out of the battle, though. My sniper, however, has plenty of ammo and is getting plenty of kills. Yeah, and I want my units on the front line. I don't want the AI necessarily getting this XP. Yes, that's my ammo wagon with the ammo turned off. That is how that should have been most of the battle. Keep the Allied supply wagon moving. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this capture. He's 800. I could really use this capture. I have some captures, but nope, shattered. I've really been unlucky with the captures. So I have this set to a real high resolution, but it does make it difficult to see the bottom of the map. Or real low resolution, which means everything's bigger on the screen, if you're following me. Yeah, my sniper is taking shots. There are 2 units over here to the right. So now I had my artillery. I wanted them to do, big lazy circles. But no, there's actually 2 guys to wipe out. Yeah, I'm leaving a guy back by the victory location because if you know anything about Ultimate General, the AI will sneak someone around to steal the victory location. And I don't want to lose the battle because of something silly like that. Okay, it's 17:30. I don't know when the battle ends. So I figure, let's try to get some captures. I think I get one of them. One of them shatters and I get the other one. Yes, capture and... I think capture. No, maybe not. Shatter. Okay, 5,200 captures. Not great. I thought I could have... I got like 8,000 on Brigadier General. Okay, 1,500 kills. That's mine. Napoleon getting 1,000 a battle. That's what we want to see. Melee Cav got 800. My rifle Cav got 760. That's great. Cav, the scouts did really well too. That Ohio unit is the guy I left, at the end of one of the phases just firing into the enemy. So I should have had one of my units do that. The 3-inch did okay. Sniper did surprisingly well. Shocking. Usually that's a terrible unit before it gets a perk. Okay. Ah, that guy did not get a bunch of kills. And this guy, my little tiny artillery unit, got enough kills to get a unit perk. Okay, what was the best enemy unit? Okay. His artillery didn't do much. Not impressive. I lost 2 officers. They're not showing up here. I don't know why. Just shows Morgan. Yeah, it's just showing Morgan. There's nobody else. But I lost 2 officers, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is bad. 2,800 guns. I got 5,000 on Brigadier General. That looks like it might even be a bug. 2,800. That's weird. Okay, $198,000. We have almost 300,000. That's outstanding. very happy. Bunch of perks, bunch of, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units got a perk. Yeah, see, lost Morgan, but I lost somebody else too. Milroy, Johnson, Baker, didn't lose any of those guys. Raleigh. Yeah, Barrett? Yeah, Hunton, I think that's the guy. That's the guy I lost. Barrett replaced him, but he didn't show up. Okay, 2,000 Lorenzes. I don't think there's any reason for me to take the 4,000 men, because I can't put them in the army anyway. 33, 35, 12. Okay, you want to do Crossroads before River Crossing, because Crossroads is much, much easier. River Crossing is a bear. Okay, I will have 4 James. So that's very welcome. I will not have enough guns of any of the other good stuff until after Shiloh. So 5 economy, that's where we're going to go. Probably 1 more in army organization, I think, is all I need. Because you can only take 36 units to Gaines's Mill and Malvern Hill, so you might as well only have 36 units. And it's going to be hard for me to get all the weapons I need. Shiloh. $47,000. And that probably will go up. 19,000 to put in. Yep, we're in good shape. Shiloh is a nightmare. I'm not looking forward to it. But we have 2 battles before Shiloh, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.